It's just like imagine an AI-driven system that anticipates and caters to each guest experience and enhancing every aspect of their stay. To start, I would say the pre-arrival personalization, of course, the data collection that we spoke about, to tailor the guest stay and suggesting room setups, activities, dining options based on their preference. And I would say now that we have the upgraded technology, and this is implemented in some of these hotels, the smart room features, so the room adjustments and the preferred settings for the guests, and these are just small like implementations.
What's up, hospitality innovators? Welcome back to the Schulering Hub podcast, where we push the boundaries of what's possible in our evolving industry. At Schulering, we love startups, and today we are giving space to Alecia Maximo from MaxiAI. Alecia isn't just here to speak about AI, she's here to show us how AI can transform our operations, empower our teams, and create guest experiences that resonate long after checkout. Picture this, an industry where technology does not replace the heart of hospitality, but elevates it, turning data into delight and automation into art. Intrigued? Switch on and learn something new with Schulering today. Let's go to the chat. What's up, hospitality? Welcome back to another episode of the Schulering Hub podcast, where we talk hospitality. And today we are going to explore a little bit more in depth the possibilities that AI will open to our industry. For this, I called Alecia Maximo to share with us her insights and what she's been researching to bring on. Alecia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you so much. Thank you for
It's a
welcoming
pleasure
me.
to have you here. And I want to tap into your insights and understand a little bit more of some use cases of AI for the hospitality industry. But before, in our hub here, humans always come first. We want to understand a little bit more about you and who you are. You worked with even the US government. So let's get on to your journey to where you are now. How did working for the US government work?
Yeah, of course. So yes, just to start, it was a journey, but I would say comparing the government and then as far as my passion with travel and hospitality now, I would say ever since I was young and then now an adult, I always had a passion or a deep calling to explore the world and travel and, immerse into different types of culture. And I would like to say I always knew I was destined to travel and also experience life on the peaceful end. And I always thought in other countries, there's a lot of adventure to be soaked in. So that's just a little bit about me as far as like where that passion came from. And then as far as my career and working for the US government, right out of college, my career started working in the hotel and airline industry. So I got to experience both ends. So working for Hilton as a guest representative service. So, experiencing guest servicing and doing the whole greetings and everything like that. So I got to work in the operations and also on the guest side. So very, very hands-on experience. And then I used to work for United Airlines. So that was really fun. I got to travel, of course, for free for standby. So that was a great plus working for an airline. But I have to say, working in this type of industry, it's really important to be a people person, very respectful, but also have the personality and patience for other guests and other patients. So there's a vast difference between working in a hotel and working in a busy, busy airport. But I had to say it was great experience, great fun when you're starting out at a very young age. As an adult now, I don't think I would do that. But I feel like, if you have the heart to do it, go for it. And I love people, so that's just a little spiel about working for United Airlines. And then from United Airlines, out of college, I moved to Virginia. So I'm currently in Virginia at the moment. And then I worked for the United States government as a travel consultant and team lead. So basically what we did there, it was more like leisure travel and more of government clientele. So we were working with the Department of Justice, Department of Health and Services, and things like that. So we were helping them work on their travel being deployed to other countries, the United States, Europe, and Japan, and making sure that we were staying within like the travel budget for the government. So that was more, I would say, more on the corporate and government side, a little bit of dryness there, but it was still a really great experience just to experience the travel side with the government. And then from there, I was like, okay, I want more things in my life. So now I'm an entrepreneur in the tech field and following my passion with travel and hospitality. And that's how we got here.
Because you just said that from all your journey and working in hotel lobbies, working with travelers in that stressful environment as an airport, then you jump
Yeah.
into the tech world to provide service to hospitality. So in 60 seconds, can you define what your company is?
Yeah, of course. MaxiAI, it was developed about 8 months ago. Maximo is my last name, so that's where that came from. And technology has always been a passion of mine as well. And I always thought the easiest, most seamless way how it can be integrated in any program or into any niche. So with MaxiAI, I believe that technology should make life easier, like we see now with our iPhones, not more complicated or more complex. So we specialize in AI-driven solutions that empower businesses to streamline operations, enhance customer experience, of course, and ultimately drive growth, either if it's an our advanced virtual assistant or an AI-powered marketing strategy or automation tool. We're here to help businesses only keep up with the digital age, but at least try to lead it within their specific niche.
So you are actually creating a business to help the operations, the back end of our hotel floor with AI capabilities to stream better customer service. Did I get it right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, correct. Yes. Because I find my experience working in the hotel industry, I wish we had that technology working in United Airlines and Hilton just to seamlessly try to work virtually, but also take that experience and bring it onto the hands-on experience, bring it onto the floor. So I feel like AI is a very helpful tool when you can learn on your own with the actual programming, and the seamless integration, but also bring it on hands-on so everything mixes well on the education part.
Yeah, let's get to understand a little bit more about AI really as a user case for the hospitality industry. And the first question people always ask when AI comes to the conversation is, will AI replace humans? And what's your take on that?
Honestly, I honestly don't feel like it will. I feel like AI will not replace human interaction in hotels. Rather, it will enhance it. So I firmly believe, the true value of AI lies in the ability to complement and elevate the human touch, not to replace it. And especially with the hotel industry, hospitality, it's all about the people and the experience and making that natural and personal connection. And I feel like AI can play a significant role in enhancing these types of experiencing as far as taking over repetitive and time consuming tasks. At the end of the day, when you're doing your guest checkout, the AI system can just automatically go in while you're actually spending time with that guest and asking how their experience is, and giving that personal touch at the end of their stay. So that's just a little example how it can be more of an enhancement in taking care of those repetitive tasks. So the guest service and the employee can be the relationship there that they're focusing on.
Cool. And like you mentioned so many things now, like the AI can enhance that human touch. But how can actually AI enhance the guest experience?
Sorry to interrupt. If you're enjoying the show and if you're learning something new today, please consider following the show, subscribe to our channel, or leave us a review. It helps us to help more people through the podcast, and it would mean the world to us. Thank you for listening, and we're back on the chat.
Of course, yeah. So I would say, as far as doing that and making it a more personalized guest experience, I would say, as far as creating highly personalized interactions with the type of services. So one of the most powerful aspects of generative AI, it's the ability to analyze a vast amounts of data and generate tailored responses or suggestions in real time. For hotels, this means understanding and anticipating the unique preferences and needs of each guest, leading to a customized and memorable stay. So before the guest comes to check in, it collects their data, it collects, where what tours are interested or what have you before they check into the hotel. So I think that's a really cool part that what AI can do and what's doing right now. And for example, it can analyze a guest's past behavior, preferences, and feedback to offer personalized recommendations for activities, dining options, and room settings. If a guest has like frequently travel or questions for business, the AI might suggest specific amenities like a quiet room with a desk or nearby meeting spots. If another guest is on a family vacation, the AI could recommend family-friendly activities or nearby attractions based on their interests. So I would say it's all about collecting the data, of course, the protected data, but looking at the human itself before the check-in and picking up the past behaviors so the AI can collect the data and give out the specific needs of what they're looking for, or give out specific tailored recommendations to the guest.
Cool. But I have a question now, though. Like when you're saying this, like it all
Yeah.
seems that the examples that you listed seems as a very great example for the hotel to really target the right guests. But on the guest side, does it actually enhance the guest experience just by being bombarded with tailored marketing tools? Or how really AI can improve that experience of the guest arriving that on the floor?
I would say honestly, and on that end, I would say it would be more of the like when it comes to the operation side, right? And collecting the data and, making sure that the AI is not really fully controlling like what the guest wants and what the guest needs. It has a lot to do with the employer itself, right? Or the employee. So when you're speaking to an actual guest in person, that employee can utilize that information that they're learning from the AI, but implement it into their own type of interaction. So like that's what we're doing here, right? We're not, we don't want them like reading off an iPad and be like, okay, this guest likes this guest like that. I feel like it's more of a self-taught basis where you can use AI as a tool as far as giving you the provided information about the guest and then using that interaction to give them a leg up when they're interacting with that guest. Because at the same time, you still want to keep the human touch, but also, help the employee make that genuine, natural connection just by getting a little bit of like in-depth information about the guest before the arrival. Or let's say they're coming back after 5 years, the AI can look at, their previous travel or, what are they really interested in on this like trip as far as like collecting their data or collecting more information before check-in and using it to that bias
And,
there.
and you mentioned
Yeah.
something just before about, of course, some of this information, it's not shareable, right? And how could the AI collect this information without breaking the compliance and break the GDPR? Here in Europe, we have the GDPR, this horrible law that protects. It's supposed to protect the consumer, but actually, really, what it does is just cost money for businesses and complicate some processes. But how will the AI systems really get into that to provide this type of information for the employee?
Yeah, of course. So when we look at, now until like 5 years from now, there are going to be some legal regulation laws that are going to be mandatory and implemented across all niches and all different types of industries. So to first start out, there has to be transparency and consent when you are looking to collect a person's data or at least letting them know, them signing a consent form saying that like I allow this to use my information for these types of subjects. So it's crucial for business to be transparent on how they collect and use and store the guest data. They should be informed when they are interacting with the AI system and should be provided explicit consent for their data to be used. This builds trust, allows customers to make informed decisions about their interactions with AI, and of course, the data security. So the data security at the moment with AI is still on the fence of being regulated, and I feel like it should be more mandatory and more push, especially as like AI is growing in our computers and our phones, everywhere on the internet. But when it comes to the hospitality industry and travel industry, protecting customers' data is paramount. The AI system must implement robust security measures such as encryption and compliance with data protection regulations. Example, the GDPR and CCPA. The regular security audits are necessary to identify the vulnerabilities and ensure that the customer information is safeguarded against like different types of like virus breaches, either in the hotel system or either like online, like on the actual internet. And also, I would say the minimization of data collection the organization should collect only the data necessary. They don't need like a whole life story about the guest, I would say. Basically, like their name, their phone number, their email, what they like, what they don't like at a hotel, and like for their operations and also minimizing the risk of misuse. This approach respects customers' privacy, of course, and helps maintain the trust between the hotel and also their guests upon check-in and upon their arrival during their
Cool,
stay.
cool. Okay, so like I think that we have
Yeah.
still a long road to get to exactly where we want to be, right? But it's good to get all these little details because a lot of hoteliers are concerned about this. How do I actually collect data? And of course, I believe that one of the things that we struggle today, mainly in our industry, but in general, is not how to collect data, but how to process this data and make sense of it so we can actually use somehow. And this is something that
Mhm.
we're still learning how to leverage, learning how to organize this data from the many touch points that we have, that we end up collecting. But let's get to the main core thing here that we want to discuss with you. That's about AI use, best case scenario. And how do you think that would be the best way to use AI for the guest experience? And if you could give us like a step-by-step instructions on how hoteliers could actually process that.
Yeah, of course. So there's a vast variety of how AI can help boost like the hospitality industry. And to start out, I would say from start to finish, like the AI in hospitality, like my mission and with AI is to create a seamless, personalized guest experience from start to finish. So like while they're searching online to where to stay until they leave there with a smile on their face, right? It's just like imagine an AI driven system that anticipates and caters to each guest experience and enhancing every aspect of their stay. To start, I would say the pre-arrival personalization, of course, the data collection that we spoke about, to tailor the guest stay and suggesting room setups, activities, dining options based on their preference. And I would say now that we have the upgraded technology, and this is implemented in some of these hotels, are the smart room features. So the room adjustments and the preferred settings for the guests and these are just small like implementations. The AI concierge services, so a virtual concierge that's available 24/7. So customer service, 24/7 support in case the guest has any questions upon arrival to handle any requests or predict needs, offering personalized recommendations. Efficient service. So I would say for this, AI can help optimize staff allocation to ensure timely personalized service. And while they're there, so like post-stay engagement, AI can, I would say it can send tailored follow-ups and promotions based on the guest experiences. But now we're going to take it a step further. So when we're speaking about these different types of subjects, when it comes to the implementation, I like to really touch point based on when you look at a hotel, look at the type of industry, it all has to do with the employer to the guest, right? When it comes to the experience, people go to certain places because of how they're treated and how they feel. And that all has to do with customer service. I cannot stress that enough, especially when I go to places, I can feel the warm welcoming and I feel really good when I'm really being catered to when it comes to customer service. I feel like that's super, super important. So I would love to touch base, not just on that stuff, but the education or learning systems to help staffs do their job seamlessly with the help of AI, of course, but just on a regular basis when you're hiring an employee from any country to work in that type of industry. I feel like AI can drive certain training models to the hotel staff, focusing on areas such as customer service, hospitality management, and technical operations in the back end house. And these learning tools are being very regulated now with the AI visuals of it and making sure that they can get more of a hands-on experience. So these learning experience can be made interactive and available on demand, helping hotel teams stay at the forefront on industry trends, either, in the restaurant field or in the hotel field as well. So I would say the tailored like learning experience is a huge things that the hotel or hospitality industry should look into because that is where it starts, right? You have everything else like the marketing and everything like that, but when you're training and educating the employees, I feel like that's the most important where like they should start creating that experience, because the reviews, everything all has to do with the feedback from the guests themselves. And once you have a great, employee and guest service or customer service group, I feel like it's a win-win situation on both ends, on the guest end and for the hotel end.
I want to dig in into that educational part, because it can be very interesting, can be a very important use case. How
Mhm.
does it work? Because what you're telling me is that AI can help in the training process of hospitality, and when people are listening now, they will think, how? Because hospitality is so practical.
I would say the best way to answer that would be the teaching of the automation of the staff education. So AI can help and be used to automate and streamline the onboarding and continuous education process, ensuring staff receive training that aligns with their specific roles and their responsibilities, either it's in the restaurant, airline, or hotel, and that the result is more efficient learning and improved service quality. So to dig deeper into that, when you look at AI as a whole, when it comes to the education, um, when it's being implemented either on a home base, like let's say they're taking the training home, or they're actually learning it like on the field, it varies, right? We can set up a program where it's an interactive type of like real life scenario on the AI module where like they're having a guest experience or have you, for an example, but it's a real life scenario online and on the actual course itself. So when that happens in real life, they kind of have an idea as far as like from the training, how to deal with that type of interaction. So we can try to implement type of like an AI interactive, really cool course, in their language, of course, right? And see how that relates to the actual real life scenario. Because from my experience working for the United Airlines, I've experienced a lot of things that was very like, I wish I was trained for this. But I'm a really quick learner, quick thinker. So I was able to handle really complex situations involving security and police at the airport, as far as from my experience. But I was saying back then in 2014 to 16, it'll be really cool to like implement a type of AI module where like that was a real life scenario and I kind of had a better understanding how to handle that in the actual real life and hands-on experience. So that's just a little bit about how it can help with like the actual real life scenario in whichever
Yeah. And
industry.
and when you say real life scenario, is that via text that
Yeah.
we are reading and understanding, or is actually an image that you are immersed into it?
I say from real life scenario, what I mean, like, okay, so for example, I'll just use myself an example. When I was working for United Airlines, we had an issue with a very intoxicated person, and there was a flight delayed, and she was like making a whole scene, making very, very uncomfortable, noises and things like that. So I had the duty of like, okay, what do I do? Do I just go to her and like calm her down and make sure she's okay? I got her a new flight and she's still really mad, making a scene. Or do I get the police involved and make a bigger scene and make people more scared? And, when you're in the airport, you try to be as calm as possible. So it's like taking that real life scenario, because those things happen almost every day, I'm pretty sure, right? Depending on where you're going, what type of airline you're in or airport you're in. So I would like to see like that real life scenario as an example to play out in the training module. So while the employee is getting the onboarding and the training, there would like be certain regulated basic scenarios like that in the training module, as far as like, okay, from A to B to C to D. These are your most valuable options to make sure like, this guest is happy, or to make sure, that doesn't highlight or get more of an issue in the act, like if it actually happens, or like if an emergency breaks out in a hotel or a fire. So like those type of scenarios implemented into an AI training module while they're training the employee for anything that can happen along
I,
those
I
lines.
get it now. I just don't see the AI use, because you can describe this scenario and have that in a training, right? So where is AI getting in the mix there? Where?
Yeah. So making it more, I would say when I say AI, I mean more of like the media of it. So more of the virtual type of like the integration of the type of content with AI. So when I say AI, I mean more like when it comes to the training model, like yes, we're used to like the multiple choice questions and like those scenarios, but what I'm saying is that the visual aspect of it and being immersed, like it's yourself in the AI or in the training module, I feel like is more it can really make a difference the way that people and employees learn when it comes to like the media side of it. So the context of the real life scenario would be it's like an actual course that's AI generated, but it's interactive, it's fun, it's not like boring. You're not spending 3 hours answering multiple choice questions. The person is actually having fun learning about it. They're excited. The employee's like, okay, now I know how to handle the scenario kind of in a fun way on their own learning, but like in the actual real life, they have an idea from that example that they learned from the actual module. So I like to involve a lot of type of different media aspects once it comes to AI. The things that we're creating is amazing, from 3D printed cells into the actual course module where like we're like moving or like a human's moving in the like on your screen. It's amazing what we are creating at the moment. It's just gonna get more advanced in the future.
If we can like use AI to actually get these courses to become more interactive, more interesting, that's all we could
Yeah.
ask for, right? Like finally something that AI can do that we couldn't. If we are talking a lot about AI and it's very futuristic, we're talking mixing up a little bit of things that we are doing right now and things that maybe will be available in the future. If you would think and try to describe a scenario about the future of hospitality with AI involved, and a disclaimer here, we are not trying to predict the future, but we're just brainstorming on what can happen. How do you see this world changing in the next 5 years or so?
Honestly, I'm excited. I know some people are scared about AI as far as like you said, like taking their jobs and things like that. But I feel like we are like my mission is to create more of a safe space for people learning about AI because AI is not just one subject. It is a variety of things and what you can do with it. So, with the future, especially in hospitality, I see AI being very proficient and being very regulated with the automation proficiency. So, we get more involved and familiar with these different types of AI technologies, including, your regular chatbot, your virtual assistant. Adding the automated systems in the operations and for the guests will be super, super important. And it will create more of a seamless type of integration while it gets more advanced. And professionals should know how to, implement and manage these tools to improve operational efficiency and enhance guest experiences. So feature wise, I feel like that will be more regulated and be people will be more used to working with the automation part and it will be more understanding to your everyday person learning to use AI. Then what I love about the future with AI is the marketing side. I love, love, love the media with AI and what it's doing with marketing and the visual things that it's coming up with. I think it's amazing. It's not just billboards anymore. It's really, really cool. So I would say the digital marketing skills. So AI can help transform marketing strategies. Professionals they can adapt to using the AI driven tools, to their own desires for targeted market campaigns and revenue management. This includes understanding the different algorithms, optimizing the pricings, promotional strategies based on real time data. So I feel like when it comes to the budget, but also the visual aspect, the future is holding a very big space for like marketing professionals when it comes to marketing the actual industry. When you look at travel, hospitality, it's $1 billion industry. So, they're already putting money into the marketing side. So when they have the help of AI, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows how big their marketing skills can get with the help and, how many guests they can like bring to their hotel because they're making a really, really cool marketing type of ordeal with AI. So I think that's where the future is heading. One more thing, I would say the interpersonal skills is very important to touch on as we get more advanced. I feel like future wise, like I said, we still need the human touch. I look at AI more as a helpful tool than it taking over an operation. So when it comes to the emotional intelligence, I can't stress this enough. I always say AI is building a consciousness. When you're typing in ChatGPT, it's learning how you speak, it's learning the questions that you're asking, and it's learning how to respond. So we are teaching the AI and it's building a consciousness like we have a consciousness. It's a little like, still on the fence. Chat GPT is still learning, but the emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage one's emotions, as well as empathize with others, that's going to be super, super important as we advance, especially in the hospitality industry. This helps professionals navigate, complex guest interactions and resolve issues efficiently, ensuring guest satisfaction, even in challenging situations. So we have to make sure that as humans, we're still emotionally connected with our guests, and we know that AI is on the side, right? But it's super, super important that we create that and keep that interaction and that humanity moving forward in the future. And also, one more thing, I would say the virtual reality of AI, how we can now, a couple of years from now, we can be really immersed either in a country or in a hotel with the help of virtual reality. The more advanced that the media is getting with AI, including marketing, is going to be a point where it's like we can see what a first class seat looks like in our surrounding. We can like feel the air on us. We can hear the airline attendant speaking in the background to get that full experience and then be like, okay, I want to do this. Let me go buy a first class ticket to Dubai and actually experience it in real life. So I really feel I'm excited to where it's headed for and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it's going to be regulated and implemented in this type of industry.
Cool. And like you picture some very cool ideas, but if I would ask you into the human skills that we need to develop now, because you touched in, we will need learn more about empathy and how to connect with humans, right? As we evolve
Yeah.
on using AI, interacting with AI, getting immersed into VR, into virtual realities, and interacting with this tool to help us to think, right? Because that's what we're learning now, how
hmm
to think with artificial intelligence with you. Do you think that we will need to concentrate more in educating our interpersonal skills to be able to actually do hospitality in the future?
Honestly, yes. As far as the interpersonal skills, I feel like that's very, very important skill to have, especially today with social media as a whole. When you look at Instagram and TikTok, I feel like a lot of people are losing their interpersonal skills. So that's just something to look out for. But to touch on those points, especially in this type of field, when it comes to the adaptability and problem solving skills with the emotional intelligence, the hospitality landscape is evolving with the technology as itself. So when it comes to the professionals and the employees, they must be adaptable, I would say, like ready to learn the new system and capable of solving problems that arise from integrating AI into a traditional hospitality practices. And on top of that, with the interpersonal skills, the guest service excellence and experience. So yes, the AI can handle certain routine inquiries, but the human touch has to remain vital. They can excel with provided personal service, demonstrated empathy, which is very important, and building the relationship with guests enhance their overall experience. Those three factors, so the customer service experience, the emotional intelligence, and the adaptability and the problem solving would be great, skills to keep with the interpersonal skills, but also not losing touch as far as like the AI technology is here. I'm pretty sure it's here to stay and it's going to be more advanced. But the more that we keep to our authentic selves as employees in that guest services world, and not totally depending on AI, but using it as a helpful tool to even brush up on more interpersonal skills as well, or just keep that in the back of your head, like that's still an important factor moving forward into the future. And also to point out the strategic thinking. also the innovative mindset of cultivating an innovative approach to leverage the AI, the creativity part of it as well.
Cool,
But
cool,
yeah,
cool. So I believe that we
yeah.
navigate a little bit around this world of AI. Thank you very much for sharing your insights with us. And so, Alecia, how can our audience get in touch with you?
Of course. So you can find me I'm very active on LinkedIn and on Instagram. So my LinkedIn is going to be Alecia Maximo. You can search up MaxiAI. And then for my Instagram, it's maxiai.io. And you can find me on there. We do a 15-minute free consulting call with anyone that's interested or intrigued with AI and see how we can implement it to your business. And then we move forward with a discovery call on making sure that the value fits and see the best way that we can help you.
I'll put all your links there in the notes here so our audience can get in touch with you. Thank you very much, Alecia. I really appreciate your time. Really appreciate your insights. And I'll see you soon.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you. This was an amazing call. And thank you so much for welcoming me on this platform. And I'm here and we're here to support the hospitality community and see where the future goes.
Thank you very much, Schulering. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye.